What's up, everyone? Mr. NoobTube Gamer, giving you guys another Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary. Today we're playing Conquest on Grand Bazaar. I decided to play Battlefield 3 because all the other YouTubers, they're doing Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, and those games are really popping right now. You got so many full servers. I can barely get into one because they're all full and have waiting lists, so I decided to go all the way back to BF3 because you have a little bit less people playing Battlefield 3 than you do right now playing Battlefield 4 and BF1, because the hype for 2042 is so fucking real right now. It's crazy. And today I want to talk a little bit more about Battlefield 2042, a game that we really don't have a lot of information for yet. We know a few things. We know there's 128 players. We know it's going to come out in October. You got the really cool weather effects, and you can change your weapon attachments in-game, which looks really cool. So there are a few things we know, but really don't know a whole lot about the game, including whether or not Battlefield 2042 is going to support custom servers. Almost every Battlefield game since Battlefield 3 has had a robust rent-a-server program where you pay EA a certain number of dollars every month, which allows you to have your own server with your own rules, and you can also ban people from the server if they break the rules that you have. Or you can ban people for no reason, because it's your server. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But with Battlefield 5, the rent-a-server program was taken away. So if you want to rent a server in BF5 right now, you can't. It's only official EA servers that people play on. And that is an issue with BF5 in particular, because Battlefield 5 is a game that's known for having terrible anti-cheat. You have cheaters all over the place, even to this day. EA never fixed it. So Battlefield 5 might have been a game that suffered from a lack of custom server options, because then, you know, if you did have custom servers, you would have had admins on that would ban people who were caught cheating, and maybe you'd have less cheaters right now if the rent-a-server program was still intact. I think it was actually like a year ago they had a rent-a-server program in place for BF5 for a few weeks or a few months, but then they took it away. It never became permanent, which makes you think that maybe EA and DICE, they don't like having all these custom servers where the admins are able to make their own rules with the game that aren't necessarily in line with their own vision of the game. Maybe DICE and EA want to have full control over the entire Battlefield experience and not allow their players to deviate from that. So I guess it appears to be a pretty scummy thing for EA to do, to not allow people to just have their own custom servers, to have their own fun with the game. But the Battlefield community is actually more divided than you would think on the issue of custom servers, because most people would think, oh my god, custom servers, that's such a great thing. It gives the player base more freedom as to what their user experience is going to be. And there are definitely a lot of games out there like Halo and Grand Theft Auto Online, Team Fortress 2, where people love their custom server. No one complains about having custom servers in those games, mostly because the custom servers are separate from regular matchmaking. If you want to play the Halo Master Chief Collection right now, you can just do regular matchmaking. Or if you want, you can go to the server browser and look at all the custom Forge games going on. And same thing with Grand Theft Auto Online. You have the regular vanilla version of GTA Online, but then you have the role-playing servers that are completely separate. But the way that Battlefield works differently from a lot of games is that the custom servers and the vanilla servers aren't actually separate from each other. And I remember whenever I played Battlefield 4 on PS4 back in the day, I would always get put into a custom server, and almost never would I actually get into an official EA server. It was always these custom servers with their own custom rules, and every time you load in, it has like a list of rules on the loading screen, and it was always the same shit. No C4 Jeep, no Stinger, no Kamikaze, no Claymore, no this, no that, no fun. Like, it was fucking ridiculous how these rules worked in these servers, especially no Stinger, so you can't shoot down a helicopter. The helicopters can just keep raining down hell on you and you can't do a fucking thing about it. And then it turns out that the admins, they're using helicopters. So yeah, that just happens to be a coincidence that they have these rules in place that benefit them, but not the other people that are actually playing on the server. Fucking bullshit. And so is all the shit where they try to tell you how you can and can't play the game. You can't do a C4 Jeep, you can't do Kamikaze with a jet, you can't fly the jet and then jump off in order to get to the objective faster. But I think the most ridiculous rule that I've ever come across in a custom server before was in Battlefield Bad Company 2. If you go and play Bad Company 2 right now and join the most populated server that plays Rush, they have this fucking crazy rule where if you pick up a weapon from a dead enemy or a dead teammate or whatever, you pick up a class from somebody else, you get fucking slayed for that, for picking up a goddamn weapon. You know, something that's the most fucking basic thing that you can do in any FPS game. If you run out of ammo in your gun, you can pick up a different gun from somebody else that died. Well, you can't do that now in Bad Company 2 because the admins say you can't. So what happened was I got so turned off by that rule that I never played Rush in Bad Company 2 ever again. Because I just can't deal with that shit. These jerk-off admins tell me what I can and can't do with my game that I paid full price for. Fuck you. And then don't get me started with the other shit, where you have these really high tickets in these custom servers. So a typical game that goes like 25, 30 minutes turns into a fucking hour. And I don't got time for that shit either. I only have a limited amount of playtime. I don't want to play the same match for a full hour. But there are a lot of servers that do that shit. And then there are games like Battlefield 3 where most of the team deathmatch servers, they're no Char Canals 24/7. And if you play Bad Company 2 right now, most of the populated Conquest servers, they don't play through all the maps. They're only Arica Harbor 24/7 or Heavy Metal 24/7. It's just fucking annoying playing the same map over and over again. It gets boring. It makes me play much less of the game than I otherwise would if they actually had all the maps in rotation in these populated servers. But for a lot of games, they don't. Thank God in Battlefield 3, there's still one Conquest server that's full, 64 players, and has all the base maps, all the premium maps in rotation. That's how every server should be in every Battlefield game. I mean, yes, there's some people that don't have premium, but just in general, have all the maps in rotation, no 24/7 cancer bullshit. Because that's how you make a game repetitive and boring as fuck. And it just pisses me off how prevalent these servers are, and how there's very little people playing on the official servers, because what DICE did with BF3 and BF4 is that they treated both of them the same and didn't separate them. Battlefield 1 actually did something good, where they have the rent-a-server program, and you can have your own custom server, but it's hidden from the rest of the game. So you actually have to go out of your way and go to the server browser if you want to join a custom server. But if you join regular matchmaking, you're probably going to get put into an official server that is pure vanilla. And I think that's the best way that EA and DICE can handle custom servers if they decide to bring them into Battlefield 2042. You can have rent-a-server and you can have all that, but just don't let the unofficial servers dominate the entire matchmaking. Because that's what pretty much happened with Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, and it didn't make the games any better. They actually got worse. Because even at the end of the day, if you follow all their shitty-ass rules, they can still just ban you because they feel like it, with no repercussions. And that happens a lot in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, where you kill an admin, the admin gets pissed off and bans you because they're mad you killed them. Even if you weren't cheating or doing anything wrong, they just don't like it when they're losing. Of course, this doesn't happen in every single server, but it happens in enough of them to be a noticeable problem. There's no accountability. So I hope if we get custom servers in Battlefield 2042, they do it a little bit differently than what they did in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, and make it more like Battlefield 1, because I think the custom servers are fine the way they are in BF1. I didn't have nearly as many problems with the servers in that game than I did with BF3 and 4. So I think that's the best way to do it. Don't, like, get rid of them completely. I know there are some people that think that DICE should never bring the custom servers back, and that they should go away forever. I think that's a bit too extreme. What I would agree with is that official vanilla servers should take full priority over custom servers in public matchmaking. I think that would be the best solution for everybody. I know people are going to be like, oh, but if the most populated servers are official servers, then what's going to happen is that the cheaters won't get banned. But I would say for every cheater that gets banned in a custom server, someone gets banned for not following a stupid fucking rule or for just doing nothing wrong at all. So just because the unofficial servers do a better job at banning cheaters than DICE, it doesn't mean anything. I would actually go as far as to say that I trust DICE a lot more to run their game than I do the community. Even though their anti-cheat is horrendous, at least DICE doesn't tell me what I can and can't do with my own fucking game. In DICE servers, I don't have to worry about any bullshit. I just play the game the way that it's supposed to be played. I don't have to follow any stupid ass rules, besides don't cheat. And anti-cheat should be a completely different conversation too. If you're paying $70 for a multiplayer only game, you absolutely deserve a robust anti-cheat system provided by DICE. They definitely need to do a better job than they did with Battlefield 5, that's for sure. But that's a totally different conversation altogether. Like, it shouldn't be an argument for people in favor of custom servers that we need them because they ban cheaters. That's DICE's fucking job, not the community's. But if you do pay full price, $70 for a game, without knowing whether or not there's anti-cheat, then you're an idiot. And instead of being mad at DICE, you should be mad at yourself for being stupid enough to pay full price for a game that doesn't have anti-cheat. I would say, though, despite the problems I have with custom servers, they do have a place in Battlefield. They absolutely do, especially if the server shut down one day like they did in Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 2142, Battlefield 1942, where the only way to play those games these days is through custom servers and custom clients. That whether or not EA decides to continue to support those games and to keep running their own servers, the community will have a way to keep those games alive. But to be fair, despite the bad reputation EA gets, they're pretty good with not shutting down servers for their older games. They did it with Battlefield 2, 1942, and 2142, but those games were running on GameSpy. That's the only reason why those games were shut down, was because GameSpy shut down. You have a game like Battlefield Bad Company 1 that came out 13 years ago in 2008. There's no custom servers. The game's not even on PC. It's console exclusive. Yet, despite its age and despite only being playable on really old consoles, Bad Company 1, Battlefield 1943, you still have full populated servers in 2021. The games are still thriving without custom servers being a thing. EA is still keeping those games up. So I would say the importance of custom servers is probably overblown a little bit by a lot of people saying, oh, if it weren't for custom servers, all the old Battlefield games would be dead right now. That's not true at all. The games would be just fine without unofficial servers being around. But I do know, despite my own opinions about these unofficial servers and how I don't really enjoy playing on them a lot, there are people that do. So I would never advocate for them to be taken away completely. I just think that the official servers should definitely be prioritized, just like Battlefield 1. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think about custom servers in Battlefield? And how do you think they should be implemented in 2042? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.